George, I wanted to ask you, there's a lot going on right now as we end the year, crazy year, getting ready for a new year. And I wanted to ask you about some big changes in digital to sort of frame things around IDFA, uh, deprecation of third-party cookies, um, COVID, obviously. Just kind of a quick overview, although it might not be that simple to summarize, but some major transitional areas that we're going through and where this might bring us.
Yeah, I mean, it's no surprise that we're in sort of the midst of what we've been referring to as the Great Reset, which is the fact that this terrible pandemic has really accelerated trends that we were capturing before, but have now just accelerated beyond anything anybody imagined. And within those trends, obviously, we've seen a significant shift in media consumption into digital and particularly streaming, and that's come at the expense of offline channels and out of home in particular. But the TV landscape obviously has shifted significantly with that as well. We've also seen the acceleration of some trends relative to consumer data privacy, cookie deprecation, as you've mentioned, which is really fundamentally shifting the foundations of the digital ecosystem as we've known it. And it's moving advertisers to really embrace their first party data assets in a way that is truly just unprecedented. And this is not just advertisers within the retail space or the auto space who have been building this first party data muscle memory for some time, but now also FMCG and CPG advertisers as well. And that's really notable because behind that trend is a corresponding shift in how consumers are actually shopping today as well. And there's just been an explosion in digital commerce and e-commerce, online to in-store. So, we've really seen kind of this resurgence in this new digital era that is really only just starting to take place.
I wanted to ask you about with the IDFAs sort of going away, at least with Apple, and also third-party cookies, as we've talked about. What are some other identifiers or data sets? You mentioned first-party data. What are some other data sets that you guys will see will become more valuable?
Sure.
Where might that be going?
Yeah, it's a great question, Andy. We've got a little saying that there's no party like first party. So first party data is absolutely critical and fundamental to advertisers who are really looking to continue to take a data-driven approach to targeting and especially to measurement. So that is a absolutely foundational piece to this new reality that we're all looking at. But in addition to first party data, there's a wealth of other available data sources and signals that can really help fill some of the holes and gaps that have been historically occupied by IDFA or a cookie. Location data is a really great example of a data signal that I think is extremely valuable for advertisers, especially those who are operating both an online and an offline commerce approach. In addition to location data, contextual signals are also extraordinarily powerful, really getting an understanding of the kinds of content consumers are consuming, when they're consuming that content. And looking at those trends overall can really help advertisers identify critical patterns to a consumer journey, to a particular segment. So, there's still a lot that we can accomplish in a sort of a post-cookie, post-IDFA universe. And I would say with that, there's a need to fundamentally change some of the marketing infrastructure that advertisers are working with. And I've been lucky to be part of an Omnicom initiative that has resulted in what we have today called Omni, which is our precision insights and marketing platform, which is wholly identity based. And we've gone out and we've partnered with all of the leading identity providers to create kind of this master view, which allows us to leverage all of these disparate data sources, location data, purchase behavior data, client first party data, and to ultimately reconcile that around a common view of identity. And that's an increasingly powerful asset for us and for our clients as we look to continue along the growth curve of data-driven marketing when there will no longer be cookies or identifiers as we've known it historically.
And George, let me just ask you about the programmatic ecosystem, about its efficiencies, lack of efficiencies, what you'd like to see. We hear about AI potentially being, part of the mix. What's your take on the programmatic ecosystem, and where would you like it to go in the new year?
Yeah, no, great question. It's no surprise that more and more media is becoming programmatic media, accessible through platforms, activated through automation. And I think the advancements that we're seeing in terms of inventory quality. So we're seeing more top tier publishers, more top tier inventory providers make more of their content available programmatically. So we're seeing an acceleration in this shift from what was historically kind of a remnant inventory universe into something that really looks much more like a premium programmatic product. So bringing the best of premium content, premium environments, brand safe, well lit, with the power of targetability and measurability that programmatic brings to the table. So that's one overarching trend that we're not only really excited about, but also helping to steward in the industry overall. Say the second one, which you hit on, is the application of more advanced algorithms to optimize programmatic media much more holistically. AI, ML, machine learning. These were all a few years ago sort of in the innovation bucket, if you will. They're now moving much more to the core of the programmatic supply chain. And we've been developing programs like Bring Your Own Algorithm, which is our ability to ingest custom algorithms for our clients to optimize their programmatic spending much more holistically around their particular marketing and business objectives. And that's bringing a degree of precision, scale, and automation that I think is truly new and unique in the programmatic marketplace. And then I think the last thing I'd call out, Andy, is more and more media is becoming programmatic itself. So it's no longer limited just to display inventory or social inventory, but with the convergence of digital and linear in this new streaming world, there are more opportunities within those streaming environments to execute media programmatically. And I think that is going to open up just tremendous possibilities for advertisers who, historically may have been overly dependent on much more of a fixed, static video trading model, something that might happen, with the upfronts and only in the upfronts. But I think what we're seeing now is as more premium video inventory becomes programmable, that we're going to see a lot of nuance as far as the optimization and targeting relative to those formats as well. So I think it's a really exciting moment for programmatic. And I think the combination of premium inventory, the application of AI and machine learning at scale, and this convergence with the larger video ecosystem, only tells us what I think we've known for some time, that programmatic is going to become kind of the way that all media gets traded and transacted moving forward.